Hello YouTube, Fuzz here, welcome back to Dragon Quest XI, and today we're going to continue off in the area of, my mind's gone blank, Gallopolis, and we're in the Sultan's Palace, and we've gone ahead in the last episode and raced for the prince, since he was too cowardly to do so, and the fact that he didn't actually know how to do it. So we've helped him out with that. Hopefully he's going to honour his end of the agreement when we go and visit the Sultan now and persuade him with what it is he's agreed to help us with. So we're going to head up the stairs here, and that'll kick off a cutscene as we start today's episode.
Truly, I am humbled. All I have ever desired is to fulfill my duties as a prince and as a knight. Father, if I may, I have promised to assist these travelers. Would you permit me to explain?
Gladly, my son. It warms my heart to see you aiding those in need. Truly, you have taken the knight's pledge to heart.
Thank you, Father. The truth of the matter is that my friends here have come to Gallopolis in search of the rainbow.
Your Majesty. The beast has returned. It attacked one of our men while we were out on patrol. The Slayer of the Sands is back? Why must the accursed creature always appear on this, the happiest day of the year? We will stand for this no longer. I must dispatch my finest knights and ensure that the fiend never again returns to terrorize the celestial sands. But wait. My boy, the fates are speaking to us. Capturing the Slayer would be the perfect way to show your people what a fine knight you have become.
What? Oh, Father, so many of our bravest men have confronted the creature and perished. Surely, I do not stand a chance.
Truly, it is the most able who are the most humble. But you cannot hide your true feelings. You are trembling with excitement. This is your moment, Faris, my boy. Capture the Slayer and take your place in history.
But very well, Father. Yay! I shall begin my preparations right away. A thousand pardons. The rainbow will have to wait. Meet me in my chambers. There is something we must discuss.
Okay, so we've obviously come to the throne room, and now another matter has popped up. A creature called the Slayer of the Sands has come back to taunt the people of whatever this place is called. I keep forgetting, Gallopolis or something. And it seems the Sultan has entrusted the task of slaying the Slayer of the Sands, to the good prince. And what a surprise, he doesn't seem to like this idea, despite the king thinking he was a little bit excited for it. And now he wants to speak to us. I wonder what he wants to talk to us about.
Oh, please, I beg of you. The Slayer of the Sands will tear me limb from limb unless you aid me. Have pity on a desperate soul.
Spoken like a true desert knight. Seriously, can't you handle this on your own?
No, such a thing is impossible. I am no knight. I neglected my training. I allowed my vassals to fight all my battles for me. Oh, it is not my fault. I am an only child. I was coddled from birth and praised for the most insignificant of achievements. I did not wish to disappoint my parents or my people, so I found ways of seeming to fulfill their expectations without necessarily doing so. But the more I fulfilled them, the more their expectations grew, and now finally they expect the impossible. Ow, it's so unfair. Don't you see? If you refuse to help me, I will be sent to my doom, and through no fault of my own. Please, will you take pity on your old friend? Oh, thank you. 10,000 thank yous! And fear not, I will speak to my father about the rainbow as soon as the beast is captured. We must make preparations to depart immediately. I will await you at the castle gates.
Well, he seems happy again. At our expense.
What a pathetic excuse for a prince. Goodness knows what'll become of Gallopolis with him in charge.
Oh, we mustn't be so hard on him, Veronica. I'm sure it can't be easy growing up with everyone expecting so much of you.
Right, so we now need to head over to the entrance of the town. And we'll be able to make our way then out of the region, but not after a couple of events, or at least one event that I know of. So we'll just head over there next. You can, of course, stop by at the church if you want to save, but I'm not going to bother since I did do just exactly that, actually, before setting off into the palace. Right, so let's go and see what's going to happen here, shall we? We seem to have been taken for a ride by this prince now, don't we? He's taking liberties, I would say.
I mean no disrespect, Your Highness, but how could you do this to us? You have volunteered us for certain death.
Fear not, trusted retainers. We do not journey into the jaws of danger alone. Ha! Impeccable timing as always. Allow me to introduce our knights in shining armor. These brave adventurers have agreed to capture the Slayer for us. Now, the beast's lair is said to be located deep within the Celestial Sands. The fastest route is through the checkpoint to the west. We march immediately for Gallopolis!
For Gallopolis.
Yeah! Yeah!
Room for a little one? Oh, I'd hate to miss a good beast hunt.
Huh?
There's no such thing as a good beast hunt, friend. If I were you, I'd run along back to the circus.
Well, aren't you just a lovely, patronizing little dear? Look, I'm worried about the half-wit prince getting himself killed. Can I come with you or not? At least one of you has some sense. Lead on, darling!
He's such a nutter. Well, Sylvando is joining our party now. However, he's only doing so at the moment as a guest. So, as with the other guest party members we've had previously, we won't actually be able to take direct control of him. But alas, he should be safe from death and the need to be healed, etc. Right, so first things first, we're going to head over to the magic option here and then go to zoom and go over to the south of Gallopolis campsite. Just saves us running there manually. And the reason I'm doing that first, going to the campsite, is because we do want to stock up on anything that we can craft, especially some useful items such as a good item, a wizard staff, a good weapon for Veronica if we've got the materials for it. And it's possible to have the materials by this point, so we'll have a look and see what we've got. So yes, we'll go ahead and settle in for the evening. Don't forget as well, guys, to keep an eye on your pep mode, because if you get... it's definitely the hero and Eric, and one of the ladies, trying to think off the top of my head, not Veronica, I don't think. Could be Veronica. Anyway, forget that. Don't forget you can do that quest anyway, that's in our log. I think it's Serena. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Right, so we're going to go to Forge Weapons, first of all. And look at this. Yes, we do have the ingredients to create a wizard staff. And as you can see, it's a nice boost for Veronica with plus 17 magical might, at least, that is. So let's go ahead and create it. We'll try and get a good one here. I've got a couple of flourishes now as well. So we can do a couple of these. Yay, yellow. And I could go for single bash here. I think we will. Oh, that should have been yellow, surely. So we'll bash. And I think we'll go for a lightning bash. Yay! So we've got the maximum wizard staff that we could get there, since we got over half in the yellow. And that should give us plus 3. Yep, perfection. Right, the next thing we want to craft, if we can, we might not have the ingredients for this actually, because we've created the wizard staff. But I will check. And that's the lamppost. Yeah, we need a lamplight, but we just used one, sadly, so we'll have to get another one of those before we create that. But the wizard's staff is far more important in my opinion. Right, the other thing that we might want to do is under armour. And it's a tricky turban. But we don't have the narspicious for that one either. That would have been a nice helmet, or a nice hat rather, for Veronica. You can actually have that item by this point as well, I'm sure. Okay. Let me just have a look. Under armour. Nope. Clothes. Yeah. This one here. Okay, we're missing the same ingredients. But that would also be a nice piece of equipment for Veronica as well. So if you have got the ingredients, guys, go ahead and create those. Right, I'm going to save at this point. And equip that wizard's hat. Wizard's staff even. Once finishing up at camp, we're going to head north, and I do actually recommend that you keep it at night time at this point, because there's one small little extra item we can grab in the next area if it is night time. Nothing too exciting, but for the sake of completion. Also, night's important because if you do get those 3 party members, the hero, Eric and Serena, in pet mode all at once, then you can kill the Spitfire, I think it's called, in order to get the quest item, but you can only do that when it's night time, otherwise the quest won't register. So once you're ready, go ahead and speak to this guard here. And he's going to allow us to pass, so to speak. And we're going to start by heading up north. Not really like we've got a whole choice about that, but eventually, somewhere around here, there should be a sparkly. So we'll just continue sticking north. In fact, we can even look on the map, can't we? Makes things a little bit easier from time to time. Oh, it's actually around here, exactly where I am. Theoretically, I can't see it right now. There it is. Okay, so that map is pretty darn handy. And we're just going to continue hugging this wall until we come to the water, because there's another sparkly there for us as well. Somewhere around here. They can be a little bit annoying to pinpoint at times. Let's just use the map again, shall we? Right then, yes, it is here. It should be. Right guys, I'm not going to spend too much time showing you what the sparklies are because, let's be honest, you can sort that yourself anyway. Oh, there it is, look. So some of them can be a little bit hidden. Oh, what the heck, I'll show you. So just here we want one. We want to come because there's a sparkly spot. And now we're going to start heading over to the campsite. We're not going to camp just yet. We're going to continue heading for treasures. But there's a couple of treasures, as I mentioned. I think I said one. There's actually two, I think, we can get because it's night time. So we are going to make the most of that. But before we get too carried away, let me just make sure I know where we're going here. Okay, so first of all, we'll go right to the bottom of this little crevice thing, where we should find yet another sparkle spoon. Ah, treasure chest. We don't want to neglect those. Okay, there's a lamplight, so we can use that in crafting. Okay, this sparkly spot is only available at night time. There it is. And it is a pot of oasis water. Actually, I think that one's available at all times. The one that's available only at night time's got something else in it, so I'll mention it when we see it. Let's just continue going up here. There's a night symbol as well, so that makes sense. That thing looks mean, doesn't it? I don't really want to battle that until we've gone ahead and saved our game. So I'll ignore it for the time being. Right, a sprig of narcissus. Okay, pretty sure that one is a nighttime one. Right, what else was there to do up here? Okay, nothing really. Right, there's just one more sparkly then that I know of. And it's a bit of a mission away. But could be worth it, I suppose. We'll leave it for now, I think, though. We'll go ahead and save first, since we've got the campsite right here.
The heat, the dry air, it is too much, too much. Let us spend the night here. The monster will have to wait. There you are. As you can see, I have decided to set up camp. We will continue our quest in the morning.
That's right. You get your beauty sleep, Princey dear. You've got a hard day of getting us to do your dirty work for you to be preparing for. Come on, you. Let's have a sit down and a nice chat, shall we? So, two boys and two girls out on a lovely adventure together, huh? How romantic. But what kind of adventure, I wonder? Come on, spill the beans.
To be perfectly honest, we're none too sure ourselves just yet. But for the moment, we're trying to get to Yggdrasil. We need to understand more about the mysteries surrounding the Luminary, you see? It's all to do with a horrible being called the Dark One. He wants to bring death and destruction to the world. And we want to stop him.
All right, Big Mouth, that's enough. You don't need to tell the Jolly Jester a whole life story. We barely know him.
My. So there's a dastardly villain coming to steal all the smiles and laughter from the world. And you four heroes are on a daring mission to stop him before it's too late. Oh, now that does sound fun.
You got a strange idea of fun.
What about you, Sylvando? What made you leave home and set out on the road?
Oh, you don't want to hear my boring old stories. We've got a big day ahead of us tomorrow. Come on, kiddies. Betty buys.
Well, aren't we full of mysteries? What's his deal?
Right, so it's morning time now. But what I'm actually going to recommend at this point is camping again, since we've just done a story camp. We weren't able to forge or anything, and we do want to keep it at night time because there's a few more night sparklies in this area as well as we move on. So what we're going to want to do first of all is make sure we can create the lamp post, which we can now for Serena. So you both want the lamp post and the wizard staff by this point, if you can help it. Would be a big help. So we'll go for some double bashing. Oh, that's going to be a little bit tight, that is. Hopefully we won't ruin this one. Let's go for normal bashes first, bring that temperature down. One more. Oh, that was so close. Oh, let's risk one more of those. Yeah, we've gone past. Unfortunately, I was really hoping for a good one there, but it looks like we'll have to make do with the standard lamppost. That's fine. It won't be +3, I think it'll be +1. But better than nothing. I could go ahead and rework it, but I'm not going to bother. We'll save our perfectionist pearls for now. The other item we can craft now is, well, there's actually two we can choose from. Either the hat, the tricky turban, which is a decent hat, as I mentioned, for Veronica, or instead, clothes, that's it. We could go for the fizzle retardant blouse, also for Veronica. I think we'll do the latter, because it does boost defense a little bit more than the hat does. So this is optional, but you should have the ingreds for it now. And let's go ahead and start bashing. And again. Whoa! I love it when that happens. Right, we'll go for a few more bashes. And let's go for a lightning bash. Oh, that was a shame. And that, not to worry. Okay, well, we should get +2, I think, for that one. Since we got 1 yellow out of 4. Which isn't too bad. Even +1 is good enough. There we go. Alright then, so we're going to keep it at night time. Ah, got an accolade and a trophy for that. So until night, yes. That'll just keep us in the best frame for loot, but also on the off chance that we got those 3 characters in pet mode. Right then, so let's just sort our equipment out before we continue here. So for Veronica, we're going to swap her hairband here for the... what did we... Oh, it was armour in the end, wasn't it? Yeah, that was it. Look at that, nice boost of stats there, and magical might, so more damage as well from the spells. Right then, and Serena can get rid of the wand and have the lamppost. It's not a big improvement compared to the wizard staff of Veronica, but it's not too bad. And probably a good opportunity to save here as well. So I've left the campsite now, and these are the Spitfires, by the way, that you need for that quest if you get lucky enough with the pet mode. Just continue on around the south-east part of the map. Well, from the position of the campsite anyway. And we can see there's a sparkly just up here, so we'll make sure we grab that before we, I don't know, get thrust into any unnecessary boss fight or something. There we go. And I recommend at this point, you'll want to go ahead and just make sure that you've got everybody set to manual mode. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. I wanted to have full HP and stuff. Okay, I actually want to mention this. Super rarely you're going to bump into enemies, slimes rather, that are metal. And these are good if you can kill them because they give a lot more experience than normal monsters. The problem is you can't really farm for them because they are so rare. Our whole time in this region, this is the only time I've ever come across them, which is why I never mentioned them to you before. But if you do come across them, they are interested to try and kill. The problem is all of your normal attacks are only going to do a single point of damage to them. The good news is that they don't actually have a lot of health. So I'll just show you. There you go, look, 1 point of damage. And I believe they can also escape as well, which is also really annoying. But yeah, if you can kill them, then the rewards will be worth it. One thing I did just notice is that Veronica's staff seemed to do a good job at doing more than 1 point of damage to the slime. So I'd be interested to see if it will do it again, if it was just a one-off. It might be because it was a critical, actually. I think criticals still work on these guys. They only actually have about 5 health at most. But as I say, there is a good chance that they can escape, because they do tend to have a very high agility. So unfortunately we missed that time, but I have killed one. So whatever happens here, we should see a good result, hopefully. Let's go ahead though with Serena because of this stupid snake, and just cast a little bit of healing around the place. So they're more of a nuisance to kill than anything. Yes, but we did it. So yeah, its critical strikes is going to one-shot them. So if you can get a high crit rating, then you're going to be laughing. Okay, so I'm going to have to heal up now before the next set of fights, but hopefully we'll get a level from this. Look at that, 4,100 experience points after killing 2 metal slimes. That is not too bad at all.
Nice.
Look at that, Eric's gone 2 levels, 14 to 16. Lovely. Learned a new spell as well. Fuzz has also gained 2 levels. I expect the ladies will only gain 1 level because they needed more experience as it was. Yeah, so this is really going to help anyway on the next boss fight. So yeah, don't farm for those metal slimes. You'll end up gaining far more levels than you would by just waiting to encounter them through luck. Okay, so I don't actually need to go back and rest either now, thanks to that, which is a bit of a bonus, obviously. So once you're happy, and I would recommend level 15 if possible, make sure you've set everybody to follow orders, and then head north, and be prepared for what is arguably the toughest boss fight up until this point anyway.
The Slayer of the Sands was last seen here.
The cowardly creature is nowhere to be found. It must have fled in fear. Let us return to the castle and inform my father of our success.
The Slayer of the Sands is among us!
Up and at him, Principal. Show that filthy thing what real knights are made of. Oh dear. Looks like poor old Ferris has been struck down with stage fright. You soldiers, be dears and look after him, will you? Come on, gang. This little drama needs a hero or two.
Okay, so the reasons why this boss is quite difficult is that, first of all, he tends to have 2 attacks per round. His basic attack does quite a lot of damage, so be prepared to be healing, especially, as I say, does 2 in a round, especially on one party member. That's really nasty. He can also cast negative status ailment Confuse, well, I'm not sure what it's exactly called, but it does confuse. I think it's called Kasap or something along those lines. And above all that, he's got over 700 health points. So it can be a lengthy battle. Right, so as I mentioned, you're better off making sure everybody's set to follow orders for this one. And yeah, it's going to make things go a little bit slower. But hopefully, it will make it worth it overall. Right, so just checking what abilities we've got since we leveled up a few moments ago. Okay. Don't know if there's anything decent to steal off him, actually. Or if we'll even be able to do so. I'm not convinced there is, though. Right, so let's go ahead and just defend for now with Eric, because I want to see what we're going to do exactly here. So we'll go for the Great Sword Parry. So Buff is going to be quite a useful ability in this particular fight, but I would recommend that you save it until you actually get debuffed by the boss, which he will do. And the reason for that is that Buff will actually cancel that debuff out. So we'll go for one buff now, I think. In fact, let's go for buff on Veronica since she's got such low health. Okay, and in terms of Veronica, I'd recommend casting Sap and Decelerate onto the enemy. And let's start with Decelerate. And you can actually use these abilities on most bosses, so you'll want to start getting into the habit of doing so. Okay, and we're back to Fuzz again, so let's just carry on. We could do Frizz, quite a nice attack, I think. Don't think we're going to be able to do anything else in terms of status effects apart from the two that I've mentioned to you. So let's go ahead and use Zap. Let's use Zap. It's a really powerful, Zap is. I was just having a look down the list. Frizz is good if you don't have Zap, but 50 points of damage is nothing to be sniffled at. And back to Eric. Rubble Rouser could be useful because of, like I say, he does multiple attacks. But let's just go with normal attack for now. And now let's go for Sap, reducing the enemy's defense. So that should have an effect on how much damage we're able to do here. And what's Fuzz got? I wasn't really paying attention. Let's put buff on him. As you can see, it does help, that buff. Okay, so he's put Confuse on, unfortunately, which is a little bit annoying, but we can, I believe, cancel that out with the buff spell. Although Fuzzy's has gone already. Right then, so we've done all that. Okay, Sap and Decelerate are done. So let's go ahead here and start with Frizz. See what we get out of that. 30 points of damage, okay. We'll Zap again. That's not very nice. But hey, at least we've got heal. Or we could just start by going for buff here on Eric. I believe that cancelates Confuse. Nope, he's still completely confused. But hey, at least he went for the right attack there. Let's go for heal on Fuzz, just in case. Now, I can't pass the opportunity to do so much damage, though. Not quite as much this time, unfortunately. Right, what have we got? Right, he's still got Sap and Decelerate active. So let's just go ahead and keep freezing him for now with Veronica. And this time we can heal. So we do also need to get buff active on Serena. Uh-oh. Multiple party members have been blinded, which isn't particularly helpful. Let's go ahead, see if we can cast this spell. Since he's going to start taking damage then each time he takes a move. Zap should be okay. And with that defense spell active, we're handling the physical damage quite easily. But I could do with getting it on Serena still. So let's just take a chance here and buff her now. Okay, Eric. I think Half Inch might be affected by this debuff he's got. Okay, he doesn't carry anything anyway. I didn't think he did, but I do like to check those things out just to be sure. Right then, has he lost his debuffs now? Yeah, I think he did have. So we'll debuff him again. And we best heal once more. So keep Serena on buffing and, yeah, buffing mostly, but also healing. But don't be scared to heal with your other characters as well if the occasion arises that you need to do that. So we'll decelerate next. Oh, is that decelerate, that time ability? Yeah, I think it must be. So it was just the sap that had worn off. Okay, so we'll continue with Freeze here. And Serena. Has everybody still got buff? Yes. We could start casting Accelerate.
I hope this helps.
Hey, look, Fuzz has pepped up. If we could get Eric and Serena pepped up, then that'd be a real bonus. But I'm not counting on that. Right, what's he doing now? Oh, goodness me. And if he attacks again on Fuzz, we're in big trouble. Oh, look at that. We only actually need Serena. Right, let's go ahead and get Fuzz healed up here. Medicinal herb. It's a tough fight, this. It is a tough fight, I've got to say. Oh, not enough MP now. Have we got enough MP to do one heal? Yes, we have. Oh, Veronica's pepped up. It would be her, not Serena, wouldn't it? Right then, so let's go ahead here and continue to freeze.
Let's heat things up.
Oh, come on, Serena. Right, the buff spell is wearing off on Fuzz, actually. Oh, some nasty attacks there. I don't really want to use pet powers. And no, we can't use that now. Not unless we restore MP, which I'm not going to bother with at the moment. Eric. Let's just keep laying on the attacks. Oh, he's got a stupid debuff.
Don't worry, I'm here to help.
Right, we do need to get buffing again quite urgently here, it's got to be said. Right, Eric, let's go ahead and throw a heal. Medicinal herb onto Veronica. Could do with nobody dying, to tell you the truth. And Fuzz. Oh, I think he's dead. That's really annoying I didn't get Serena into pep state. If I can do that, then we might have a chance at completing that quest. Still, 1440 experience plus 1000 gold is not too shabby at all. Hey, look at that. The girls should level up. Well, one of them did anyhow. Guess the other's not far behind.
That will teach you to be so grumpy. Now, hold nice and still while I tie you up.
The battle is won! The Slayer of the Sands is bested! All in a day's work for the Prince of Gallopolis! You saw me, man, did you not? You saw the People's Prince defeat the fiend that terrorized them so.
Yes, Your Highness. Of course, Your Highness.
You have my thanks, friend. My heroic feat would not have been possible without your valuable contribution. I still have not forgotten what I promised. I will speak with my father about the rainbow upon my return. You may rest assured of that.
Really, Principal? That's how you're gonna play it? And what do you think they'll be expecting of you next, huh?
You speak as though I have a choice! Are you suggesting that I disappoint my father and the citizens of Gallopolis?
I'm not suggesting anything, darling. You do what you need to do.
To Gallopolis, men! We return as heroes! Yeah!
Well, this feels all kinds of wrong. You're right, Sylvando. Nothing's going to change if he keeps on pretending.
Oh, I think the poor boy knows that well enough. All he needs is a little push. Anyway, I'd better be getting along. I'm sure we'll bump into each other again soon. Ciao for now, my loves.
Oh man, it's weird listening to that dude speak to his comrades in that way. Right then, let's head up north before we head back. And there's one more sparkly for us to grab. Right, you can actually port back now using the zoom spell to the town itself of Gallopolis, so that we can continue on with the story. But I'm just going to try and mess about with these pet powers, see if I can complete the quest, since we're quite close to doing it, if I can get Serena to pep up. So I'm going to port back to the camp, rest up, save up, and then just engage a few enemy encounters. But I'm going to finish off the episode here today, guys, so thanks for stopping by and joining me. And then next time we'll pick up again in the city, where we'll continue, we'll actually conclude with this section of the story before moving on. So thanks for stopping by today, folks. I'll see you soon.